Alright, match 6. I'm currently 3-2, so this next match will probably decide whether or not I have a shot at top 8. If not, we're done. And you know what? Considering what I'm playing is the first draft of a deck, 3-3, perfectly reasonable. Especially when I don't have much experience in the format. So moving on, our round 6 opponent is Endless Number, and they're playing Grixis Control. So we fought Grixis Control before, and we had a decent time against it. To be fair, their game 3 was not the best for drawing, and I think that's the one where they mulled to 5, and we kind of had it the whole time. You know, that's how Magic goes sometimes. Variance. So anyway, it's a type of deck where they've got a lot of digging through their deck trying to find answers. And once they've stabilized, they can hold on to the firmly onto the game and kill us at their leisure. It can take them a little bit to get there, but once they've got the game locked, it's pretty much in the bag for them. So anyway, let's take a look at their removal. This is what they're going to have to draw to slow us down. So I'm going to move Clinton Dust off to the side here. This is going to be on our removal pile. So we got the Blood Chief Thirsts. Kills any one of our creatures. They have to kick it for some of the bigger things, though. Abrades takes care of pretty much all of our creatures. Feed the Swarm as well. At least with the added upside that we get to hit them a little bit. Negates, probably getting sided out without even thinking about it because we don't play many 9-creature spells. Eliminate exiles pretty much anything in our... Sorry, destroys pretty much anything in our deck. Then we have some counter spells, Scatter Ray, and Sinister Sabotage. Scatter Ray is probably going to stick around just because we're not a very land-heavy deck. So being able to counter any of our things for 2 mana, pretty good. Sabotage may or may not be sided out, just because it's a little bit slower as far as the counter spells go. So that's going to be a maybe pile over there. Okay. So moving through here. By Virulent Plague, I don't think we have enough creature tokens to make this one keepable. I'd throw it in with the negates, but I'm not scrolling right now. I'm lazy. Cry of the Carnarium. That is a card we need to dodge because it kills a good chunk of our creatures. And not only kills them, but really kills them. I mean, not that we're doing too much with our graveyard. So that's the removals. I'm going to note here that Circuit Mender, Cormella, and Nightveil, well, and Nightveil Predator, they all have a decent toughness for blocking. Though, if we see Nightveil Predator, we know we're probably in trouble. Possibly. Cormella, though, really nice butt. Sheshra is probably coming out because can't really force these to block if they don't want us to. Not a bad mana ability. No, I've actually seen it seen it a bit. Thought of the deck some. Experience of actually playing the decks. Who knew? Anyway, Cling to Dust gets honorary treatment for gaining life. You know, they're really good at killing our things, so getting some life afterwards, not bad. So this is 4, 5, 9, just 9 straight up removal spells. It's not as bad as I thought, but at the same time, it's still a hefty number, and then one card that just ends our day. And then we got some creatures that'll put up a good fight against us, good blockers. As far as the card draw / wheel spinniness goes, the Beholds and Expressive probably stay in. I don't think the Practical Researchers are fast enough to leave in. Like, they're still fine speed-wise if Carmella's here. Or Carmella's around, but if Carmella's around, we're already having issues. So I think they would be out. Witness the Future, really good, really helps them with the digging, gets back some stuff that they want to see to just grind us down. Mana base, pretty straightforward. Notably, Waterfront District can draw them a card. Prismatic Command lets them scry, and Bloodfell gains some life. Not really enough of, and Dismal Backward. Not really enough for any consistent action to see, but over the course of a long game, very likely to appear. So now let's look at their sideboard. Annuls. We're a creature-focused deck, and artifacts and enchantments are few and far between enough. I don't think we have to worry about them. Bit of push, I could see definitely coming in. I wish I wouldn't have to fight Arena about that. I can see another cry coming in, easy. I'm not going to be able to win against it there. Lonely End, -3/-3. Another removal. Fry. Kills. We have a lot of white cards, so it's probably worth putting in. The Edict. If they need, like if they were just taking out these 5 cards, if I was in their shoes, those would be the 5 cards I'm going to take out. So again, one of these cries is part of the main list, so I would have room for 1 more card. Fry is a consideration. Edict is a consideration. Very conditional in... Fry is very conditional in only hitting our white cards. We have a good amount of white cards, including the one they want to kill. It's probably going to win out over Edict, because Edict gives me a choice in the matter. We're not going to see Ashiok, because we're not doing that. Narset is, again, a nice little... She might soak up 2 damage or something and replace herself. But I don't think she's crazy enough to put in specifically. Go Blank, again, we're emptying out our hand as fast as we can. The one of Go Blank is probably not reliable. We don't really care about our graveyard, so I don't think we have to worry about that. Again, we're not really playing tokens too much, so that's probably not going in. And Thought Distortion is firmly in anti-control, so we're not going to see that. So, I predict our opponent is going to... Or, I'm not going to presume per opponent. Our last Grixis player definitely showed us that they have different opinions than we do when it comes to, like, counter spells. If we see them countering stuff, we act accordingly. But anyway, so the question is here is, if I was in my opponent's shoes, would I cut a sabotage for an edict? That's a tough question. And you know what? Once again, I mentioned it multiple times before, once again, at the end of the day, not my problem, but that would be a consideration. So anyway, that's their whole deal. I'm going to take a quick screenshot here to use later for when I'm making my notes, because I'm moving away from the screen without typing it out. Or did I do screenshots of their stuff before? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Moving on. Moving on. What do we want to do here? So, got our deck. Once again, the Deafening Silences could be good against, oh, do I not have the image? Sorry, my preparations are not living up to where I want them to be. But anyway, okay. Once again, the Deafening Silences are good against expressive iterations to help mitigate the value they're getting. Against Behold the Multiverse, you know, at any point they want to draw cards, that's it for their turn, pretty much. There is merit to them just going, yeah, I'm going to spend 1 turn drawing cards and then another turn controlling. but you're slowing them down when they're all about trying to get their critical mass of just outvaluing you. So I think I do want Deafening Silences in. There's gotta be a shortcut that just turns off the auto sorting. With our commandos, I don't see doing much. They're not a counterspell heavy deck, so having the element of flashing isn't going to do it. They're more straight up removal focused. Swallow Hole is not hitting Nightveil Predator, their main win con. It could take out Carmella, but she has to tap in an offensive way for us to be able to do that at sorcery speed, or they're overplaying their value, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't think Circuit Mender is worth taking out this way either. Destiny Spinners are considerations if we see a lot of counter spells. We are afraid of Cry of the Carnarium here though, so maybe having a 3 toughness creature is worthwhile. I don't know if I want to do game 2 going into it with it. But I do know I want freebooters, so I can mess with their hand a bit and force removal to hit it instead. So that's an initial look-see. The Sunset Revelry are also possible considerations. Just as a way, because they're gonna have a bigger hand than us no matter what. It's just a way to keep creatures on the field and card, it replaces itself. Is that worth it? The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm not really being impressed by the Revelry. So, what of our cuts? If we're on the draw, Sir Farron's a little slow. However, we've seen in the past that Farron can hit really hard. So, I'm rethinking that a little bit, honestly. Umbrella. Again, can't deal with Nightveil Predator. But she can take out Carmella. However, we're not going to be exiling Circuit Menders with her. So she's a little bit harder to justify. Her toughness is definitely carrying her here. Sheshra, again, I don't think is doing enough. I would take her out. Rasad, again, half their creatures give them a benefit when they're exiled. So I don't think that he's going to be doing enough either. There's all of those. So, yeah, the less I'm seeing... The more I'm thinking about Revelry, the more I'm thinking it just needs to be removed from the sideboard. We have not tested this deck out against other aggro decks, so I can't say that for sure. Because being able to generate chumpers and whatnot is nice, but I think this is a deck where you just race if you're in that scenario. So we've got the 3 spinners. We're at 64 cards, so we need to make 4 cuts. Since we're cutting so many 3-drops, I almost want to do cut some big guys on a land again. At which point I would take out Garna. I mean, it does deal a point of damage to them if they're just killing it. It does draw us cards though. I know Tori's good for going over. Again, when there's one card they have in their deck that can, really give us a number. I don't know. I mean, we're cutting a bunch of 3-drops, so I think it makes sense that we have to cut one of the 4-drops. I mean, at this point, it almost makes sense to cut 2 4-drops and then just have all the 2s and just be early and fast. Get back over there. Yeah, I'm kind of game for that. I just need to decide which one. I mean, Tori's good for running them over. She does... If she gets... I mean, they both eat a kill spell pretty well. Both of them are very mana specific. They need their double red and then either a white or a black. Tourney's going to be the easier one to cast if we're cutting lands out of the deck, just very slightly. We're talking like tiebreaker territory here. It's so small. That's what she said. Is that joke YouTube friendly? I don't know. It's such a small difference between them as far as that's concerned. Let's look at them as on board. Okay, so if we have creatures, Tori's great for running over the opponent. Okay, sure. If they have circuit menders, she brings the 2 powers up to 2 enough to run them over. If they have Cormella, Cormella is going to block pretty well regardless. Okay. Let's look at Garna. Garna, by herself, can kill Cormellas and the circuit menders, no problems. She dies to, abrades. She dies to abrade. Okay, they're actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they're not really dealing 3 damage much in the game. I mean, the things that can take her out are Feed the Swarm and the Brave. So this is complicating things. They're only running the 2 Sinister Sabotages and the 2 Scatter Rays, so the Destiny Spinners aren't really moving up to the game that way. It's the 3 toughness is important because it lets them survive Cry of the Carnarium. In theory, like this overcomes the toughness. Sorry, the toughness hurdle. So I think that makes her more important. The Garna is good for value, and hits harder and by herself does stuff. So if we have a team, we want her. If we have a single creature, we want Garna. Doesn't make sense to be cutting all these 3 drops. Oh wait, it's 4 3-drops. If I keep rolling at the same, does it? I don't know. What if, since they're a removal heavy deck... No, stop that. I'm not ready for that. Okay. What if we trim? Especially if we get them at a point where the removals are low. I like Sir Farron, it hits really hard. Bonds of Faith is pretty ineffective, so we can cut those. Because it hits the menders, but that's not enough, I don't think. Sentinels gets us over the hurdle. Yeah. Yeah, 60 cards. Sunsets, we talked ourselves out of that. And if we change our minds at any point, we have the Sunsets to throw in. We have some good creatures to put in. These are pretty good. The Killian helps us race Night Veil if it comes out and starts attacking us. They have a low creature, so the Menace is still important there, and that's also what keeps Aaron around. Plus, if we can get Vigilance on him with the Sentinel's Eyes, then he can start sacrificing things that they target with removal. Okay. So Farron gets over the toughness hurdle. Lagrella can exile Cormelias if need be. Otherwise, she can pad some of our creatures if they become useless against a 3 toughness thing. So Commander comes out and our Dauntless Bodyguard that we played on turn 1 stops being effective. We exile it till she dies, and then it can possibly protect something else. Otherwise, it comes back as a 4/3. Okay. I think this is a good plan for sideboarding. Will it hold up against the power of card draw? As in, the shuffler? Yeah, will it hold up against the shuffler? I have no idea, but I'll take it. Anyway, wish me luck in the upcoming match. Alright, final round. I know while chatting, On Arena, at least, communications are a little dull, so I'm hoping it's not a delay on either of our ends. One that I roll, the first hurdle against control. I will play first. Start with the bodyguard. Just start jamming them in there. Killian's gonna be a little bit harder to play, but Liara we can get on time. Killian turns it. Okay, yeah, we can play with this. Sentinel size is gonna be the odd man out unless we draw something, but I'll keep it. Yeah, we can pop that mountain for another plains and see how it goes. I want to get in hard and fast with that Dauntless Bodyguard. Aaron, you are not helping. Yara, you can come out and play. Okay. Decision point. Let's see what happens first. One comes in. Ghost Quarter comes out. So if we want to play one of these two, we need to pop the mountain to grab something more useful for us. If I grab the plains, actually, I turn on more stuff than I do with the... Okay. I forgot to do a basic land check on their deck. That might have been just a Stone Rain I'm throwing away. But I need to cast my stuff too, so, you know. And hope they don't have the one card in their deck that cripples us. Why do I say these things out loud before they have a chance to do it? Alright, so let's look at their deck here and see if I threw away that Stone Rain. Nope, they're running basics. Looks like they have a counterspell up. Oh my gosh, have we been rewarded? Okay. So we could play Aaron into a suspected counterspell. Or we can just end the turn. If we end the turn, they could have a kill spell at end of turn and a braid. I don't think they do if they're going to show it to us. They didn't use a draw spell. We can't witness. Yeah, no, I think we pass them and see what happens. Yep. Digging for removal by the sound of it. But man, if it wasn't for the fear of counterspell, I mean, we could have played the Aaron just to get it out of their hand, but I don't want them to feel like they actually have value, you know? So they're gonna play a tap land? Okay. Yeah. They're playing, they could have Thirst? Okay, Thirst. Good choice, good choice. Okay. Oh, that is rough. I want Bodyguard to protect Killian with the Sentinel size on him. But Aaron gets us more work. So we can go in for 10 right now. Sentinel size can be a surprise. Play the Aaron. So if they have a counterspell, they're gonna have that up again. Looks like they're digging for removal if we see the same thing that happened last time. There's the removal. It can kill Killian. Alright, 6 though. So we may just sneak it in there with the Sentinel size, unless... Nope. It's ours. So let's play the Sentinel size on Aaron. And okay. So we did see some removal and a good mix from them of things. So that was a decent game. We had our plan. We had the first turn, and that's what we needed. So this time around, I want the Deafening Silences. I don't want to accidentally throw in Swallow Whole. I need to stop clicking so fast, apparently. I want Dusty Spinners. I want Freebooters. Okay, what I'm taking out is Rasad. I'm taking out one Baird and one Liara. Scratch that, reverse it. Taking out the Bonds of Faith, and I'm taking out the Sheshra. And hopefully that's enough. So we got 2 cracks at this. I have never seen a zero lander on Arena. Wow. Wow, I am so glad I'm recording. 0 lander to 1 lander. Okay, we'll keep 5. Lagrella, you're going to be complicated. This is awkward. I don't think we're going to make it up to Garna with the way we want. We're not playing Sir Farron easily either, but just take the late drops. We're on the draw. Like, I mean, if there's a game that we're going to screw up because of that, this is the one to do it. Try to guard on 1. Yep. I mean, they've got an advantage. They would be dumb not to press it. Play the Killian over the Enforcer. Is that the right choice, all things considered? I don't know. But... human? I kind of want that Sir Farron. See if they have another Mender to play up. We're trying to be aggressive here. If they have their wipe, we're in a bad spot. They would die either way. No, let's do it. We're not in a position where we can flop around too much. We gotta be aggressive. No blocks. Yup. That's the thing I was afraid of. Garna, come out and play. Now, notably, she is another creature, so if they have a way to kill her, that they do. Alright, General's Enforcer. Star Pupil. I'm gonna note here that General's Enforcer is at his worst with Unclaimed Territory and Cigarette because, no blocks. They're winning the race. Doubly so. Already having it. No attacks. Can't swing into her, but she can't swing into them easily. Another Star Pupil. Do we give them a turn? Do we throw away Tori? She has other creatures, not her. She has Vigilance. She could kill one of the Menders, but we're in a bad spot. They just need one more piece of removal, and they've got it. Let's see. All that removal, all that draw. What kind of trick would they... oh, they would have Fatal Push. No blocks. No, if you're gonna push, you're doing it on my turn. You blocked? Oh, you're gonna do it that way, okay. You get your card draw, that's right. Yep, push. Main board, or main phase, that's doesn't bode well for it. So we got the Mold of 5 and we got the Flood all in one game. I mean, honestly, that's probably better than you can ask for elsewhere. Play the Liara, but this game is slipping out of our grasp. No attacks. I'm not going to use your double strike. Is this creature abilities? Alright, that's a board wipe. We saw both cries this game. Hopefully we'll see 0 next game. They've done a lot of digging though. Sir Farron by himself. No, I think we got this one. Or they got this one. Our recovery is unlikely. Well, we'll try it anyway. We'll see how they keep them busy a little bit. I think they've got enough land though at this point that it's over. They're at 20 life. No blocks. I was gonna say keep going until they hit a land. And concede. Oh, that was rough. Alright, well, we had double bad. Maybe we'll get double good this time around. We just go for it. We just go for it. Oh, that was horrible. If I knew I was gonna draw lands like that, I would have kept the first one though. Jeez. No, it's okay. Last game for all the marbles. So, I mean, worst case scenario, I've learned a little bit about sideboarding with aggro. Like I said, I'm sure I've said it at some point. Aggro is not my forte usually, so learning experience, relearning. I don't know. It's been jeez. I'll play first. Now I know where the lands from our first game went. Or first hand went. Okay, so we can't play the silence, but we can play everything else. I think we'll put the silence on the bottom though. Human. Okay, no, the stops like to do that. Because, you know, I'm going to sack it to save nothing. Alright, freebooter, show me your secrets. Okay, Sinister Sabotage is a good counter spell that we can work around. Fry, target creature that or planeswalker that's white or blue. We'll choose that eventually. The Chief hits anything we want. So if we want to keep the Sabotage useless, let's take this first. Not to mention if they play their lands the wrong way, it, no. My turn. Do I play you into death? I think I play you into death, because they're going to want to fry that as soon as they get... They don't have red. My gosh. Good to know. Okay. They don't have red yet. They're going to want to draw for it pretty soon. That's going to be their priority one. Okay. 0, 2, 3, let's get in there. Would you like to counter that? You got it. Okay, so technically I should have played that first. I misread that. I thought it couldn't be countered. But what are the odds of us finding another kind of spell? I don't know. But the Pry, they can go to the Pry. That was a big misplay not having it there. I should have grabbed that so that the Enforcer wouldn't be around. I don't know. Okay, well, attack first. Flame, human. They could have Scatter Ray still. Star Pupil, and then that. We're not really getting bigger otherwise. Damn, I can't play both at the same time. But no, I'll play Star Pupil. See if they have a catch. They're gonna counter Enforcer either way if it comes to that. I mean, at this point, we're just trying to dodge Carnarium as much as we can. See, if I had read the spinner better, we'd be up 2 creatures now, and they'd be down a Surveil. Circuit Bender, okay, not the end of the world, but a good stall tactic for them. What is the last card? Okay, you're gonna feed the swarm so you can keep your removal back. Put yourself down to... If we had Bonds of Faith, we'd be in a good spot here, huh? Deafening Silence still can't be played. How nice of it to show back up. So here, I think we slam everyone in. If they want to kill... They're gonna want to kill the Enforcer, I think, next turn, so they probably want to block the bodyguard if I swing everything here. So do I want to swing everything here? I'm gonna play it like this. Play it like... Let's score damage. Clearly you block the bodyguard, you kill that. Play Bard. Get a token. And you still don't have red. Oh! Ouch. So not being able to play Deafening Silence didn't matter this game. Kill that, and then all we need to do is swing. Oh wait, game's not over. Shoot. I thought that was it. Yep. I thought that was it. So now you fry the token because I misread my cards. Shoot, did I just really throw away this game twice now? Well, that's... Okay, fry is an instant, right? Yep. I'm getting a life relevant. Mr. Farron, you were very hengy. So, this time, if I swing with that, it's still gonna fry something. I'd rather you fry something of my choice, so I'm just gonna play this and see what happens. Oh my gosh. Punished for the Destiny Spinner play. Let's put Farron above normal kill range. Yep, you got it first. This is where it's falling apart. I mean, we're slowing them down. That's their spell this turn. They don't have any mountains, huh? So... pass the turn. Okay. Maximize the amount of lands they can draw. And then we're just gonna go score them now. Take out one of their reds. Man, that Destiny Spinner. Threw it away. Jeez. Oh Wow. That's okay. That's okay. We learned we're never gonna forget about the spinner again. This is gonna solidify it. Killian. Like, what do we draw that gets us out of this? Like, we're seeing that the Deafening Silence is having an effect, but... They kept in the practical research. Now, to be fair with my assessments, I have 0 games under my belt with this deck. So this shows me they have an instant speed removal in their hand already, otherwise they wouldn't be so snap comfortable doing this. But you know what? We got to offensively use a Ghost Quarter once this tournament, so... That's something. Okay. Yeah, you know, at this point, they've got almost full grip. I'm just gonna say, good game. Heart. And... that's it. Oh, man! Alright, well, some final thoughts in a minute. Alrighty. 3-3 overall. Oh man, that last game was a hair's breadth away, but I need to learn how to read my cards better. I played an enforcer instead of a spinner on my turn 3. When I had known they had a counterspell in hand, I had misread Destiny's Spinner. I thought it couldn't be countered as well for some weird reason. This is what I get for playing cards with which I ignore a quarter of the text on them. But regardless, put that aside. We've run 6 rounds with this deck, which was meant to MVP General's Enforcer, and I think MVP it did. The games where it stuck, we had easier combats. We were able to keep on the pressure despite not having many Anthem effects. And all in all, it was pretty decent. Unfortunately, we didn't face the right kind of aggro. I don't know how much you want to consider prowess decks to be aggro decks. We faced a lot of control that could just flick the General's Enforcer off the table. And even then, it wasn't just, you know, simple roll over and die. It was, we put up some good fights. Oh man. That game too, though, those opening hands were atrocious. Is what it is. Sometimes the shuffler is your worst enemy. And I definitely benefited from some luck to get this far as well, so, gotta balance the scales one way or another, right? I don't want to call that a gambler's fallacy. I want to call it a gambler's consolation. But anyway, what have we learned? This deck is a heck of a lot of fun when you've got pieces interacting with each other. You know, turn 2 Bard going, oh hey, that Star Pupil has a bigger base, or a bigger power toughness than the base. Have a token on me. You have that late game Niara going, oh hey, the Dauntless Body in your graveyard, that's going to boost up your other bodyguard or make it easier to attack with. You've got Sir Farron doing something. I don't think I've ever seen him do something, even in draft. But I don't draft much, so don't take my word for it. You know, we used, you know, in the 6 rounds we had, we got to use every one of our interactions that I can think of off the top of my head. We got to see Garna draw his cards, Tori pump up the field. I mean, I clearly have a bias towards Tori, because, you know, it feels a lot better to be pumping all your dudes in swing than it is to be, oh hey, one of your guys died, draw a card. Rasad got to do a little exiling. Did we specialize him? I don't think we specialized Rasad. Okay, so there's one thing we didn't do in that regard. I'll be honest. Not a big fan of specialized. It's just too much. But no, Aaron, he had his use, you know. Shashra got a couple kills in, or at least one kill in. Okay, now I'm actually forgetting what she killed. But you know what? I'm not going to look back through the footage. I'm not pausing this take. Lagrella, again, as I stated back with the deck tech, she was practically, it was her and Dauntless Bodyguard that were like the two cards that were consistently in humans lists. Like, Enforcer gets some love, but not really as much. She definitely proved her abilities. Gave some difficult situations to the opponent. Especially once I correctly read her. I guess, should go back to that video and, throw in a little foreshadowing flag. Nah. Enforcer got to make some tokens. Killian got to do some carrying. I mean, if I was gonna make another version of the stack, I might bump him up to a 3x. So he does some work. And he's a popular removal target, so if you wanna score more with him, that's an option. Yara got to use double team. Yeah, Bonds of Faith got to be used offensively and defensively. We got the Ghost Quarter in enemy land, and including fixing our own. Yeah, and everyone in the sideboard got to see a little play, except for Guy's Blessing, but, you know, we knew what we were getting into with that one. I'm pretty pleased with how well it went, even if it was 3-3. I'm not going to blame the list for a pilot error. No, it was pretty fun. I'll be looking forward to the next Artisan tournament, since I do like the format a lot, and I'm hoping we'll have a different set of cards to build around so that I can play around with a different idea, because this was fun. Again, little reminder of myself why I don't really play aggro and creature heavy decks as much. But opponents seem to like to see something a little different, and I'm glad I could bring something a little different to the table. I want to thank all my opponents again. They've all been very sportsmanlike, whatever that word is. I'll let you figure it out. No, they're good people to play with. Didn't have any scheduling issues that I can recall, at least. Helps that I'm flexible as heck right now, mostly at least. But anyway, let's see. Criticizing the deck again. Well, criticizing the wrong word. Things that we might need to improve on. Again, this was a first draft, so the mana base is totally, I'm not going to say totally a guess, but it is, there's definitely room to tinker. I'll say that much for sure. Of these, Ancient Cigarette's probably the weakest of our multicolor cards, multicolor lands. Again, only works with creature spells, so it can't, you know, help with these at all. Doesn't help with abilities. Whereas, even Unclaimed Territory at least gives you a color list to work with. I don't know if that's enough to bring down the number of ziggurats, like cut 1 or 2. But something to think about. The Ghost Quarters, we definitely mulled a hand because we had, or at least one hand because it was in the opener and we had so few lands that it was an issue, but given that we had one land, we're in a very delicate position on, you know, whether or not we keep that hand anyway. The little bit of everything play, I mean, I like how that turned out, being able to Ghost Quarter, you know, something that we didn't care about as much, to grab a fixer. I'm glad I remembered in the last game that I could Ghost Quarter away one of my lands to grab white, and then these become any of the other colors. was nice with me. And again, when you're playing with open deck lists, having a little bit of this as a hedge, you know, to pop them. I mean, we did use it offensively once. That was because we knew they had no mountains in their they had no mountains. They had no mountains on their list. So if we killed a red source, they wouldn't be able to get another red source. It was kind of a moot point by that point. But if we had drawn it a turn sooner, that game could have gone a little differently. But that's a game that already could have gone very differently. I'm sure, as a viewer, a lot of my games would have been differently if I had played along different lines. But I'm pretty happy overall with how everything went. Improvements. I would like to consider flying, or dealing with flying, or flying more in another iteration, in a future iteration of this deck. Because again, we don't do much on the flying side. Freebooters? Yeah, it's not a reliable way to deal with flyers. Secondly, 3 toughness is quite the hurdle. If we can jump that, we'd be okay. We have a lot of synergy and not many Anthem effects. I mean, we got Tori, we got Star People, and then we've got one-off, these are like one-off boosts. We might need something global that can, like, get over a wall. I mean, once it's been dealt with, boom. So that's something to consider. Having a good chunk of the deck be at 2 toughness might be something to consider addressing. I'm sure there's other legends out that could pair well with the Enforcer or some of the other cards in here. It's just these all pair fairly nicely together. I cut Sheshra a lot of times, but I think she does have her place. It's just we didn't face the things that she would be better against as much. I like the one of Aaron. He came up just enough times to be relevant. Garna, again, I'm a little iffy on. But the beautiful thing is, again, I don't think I'm going to touch this list in the foreseeable future. So if I do return to it, hopefully it'll be a time where we've got a couple more sets out at the very least. So there's more legendaries I can consider at the time. Maybe some more tricks to consider. So maybe that's a problem that will just naturally smooth itself out. That sounded awkward. But whole thing. I'm awkward. But anyway, Deafening Silence. We got to see it in practice for once. Like actually being effective. That was good. Slowing down an opponent who's, trying to find solutions. Shush phone, I'm in the middle of recording. I don't know if it actually picked that up, but, yeah. Anyway, we probably could use more targeted removal. One of this deck's weaknesses is the ability to just snipe at the Enforcer or one of our synergy cards to take it out of the equation, and then now we're just a generic aggro deck. So being able to do similar towards key creatures on the other side could be important. Or at the very least, overcoming blockers. Like, Swallow Hole's not gonna really take out blockers, but something might. Destiny Spinners, they had their place. She put in work. Taurus Commando had their place, put in work. We popped some Aristocrat enchantments. The Revelries, I don't think I want in whatever the next build is. They're okay, but when you're trying to use the 1/1s to attack, they just don't feel like they're doing as much as when they would be on the blocking and defensive. Again, maybe we found the wrong matchup for it. I tried to put it in against removal heavy and control decks, but I don't think that's the right place for it. Is what it is. The freebooters did a lot of work. I definitely wouldn't mind replacing one of the revelries with one of those, at the very least. Yeah, maybe if I was going to do initial quick switches, if we're going to have another cup tomorrow, you know, a loser's bracket or whatever. Oh yeah, we might have a loser's bracket going on. You know what? Is what it is. I'm just gonna... If I'm in something for a future match of this deck, then I am. But if I was to resubmit a list in the near future, I don't think it would have Revelry in it. It would probably have at least another freebooter. And it would probably swap Swallowhole and the other Revelry for a little more... I'm not going to say generic removal, but something that's less specific. The Guy's Blessing, it has its purpose. We didn't see it here. But I feel better knowing it's in there. That's a me thing. You do you. I mean, I've always been that way with my decks, where, you know, here's the core of what's happening. There's a couple cards that like to, you know, sit around on the side and just do whatever. I like to use these ones, but they're not necessary. And then when it comes to the sideboard, you know, like with any dish you're cooking up, the sideboard is your flavor to taste. It will be flavor to your meta, flavor to what you think you're going to face, flavor against that one deck that you seem to face literally every other FNM the first round or the second round, you know, just happens. You see it so often. True story, there was a guy I was decent friends with because we faced each other so much in, like, you know, we're talking out of 30 people, you know, we would see each other every week, just to be fair. I don't know what happened there. But, I mean, when you face a deck like that often, it's hard not to justify having half your sideboard to address literally that one deck. Anyway, tangents aside, I think that about does it. If I was a proper YouTuber, I would ask, you know, what changes would you make? I'm sure there's definitely a bunch. Not everybody's going to be into the whole ghost quartering myself to, you know, get specific lands. That's very much a me being cute type of thing. Or me not trusting my mana base enough to keep my bases covered with all these colors, even though literally half my lands can cast all of my creatures regardless of color. Trust issues, you know? Anyway, again, unless I find myself in a different form of tournament, or, you know, different form of bracket, not the winner's bracket, I'm not top 8ing. I might have if I'd won that match, but no. Not this time. Regardless, yeah, no, I think we're done. Here's the list. I've spoken for over 15 minutes about it. I think now's a good time to leave off. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I know I'm a weird one, and my audio issues still need to be worked out. All that jazz. I don't do any fancy effects. We're just doing some cuts here and there, whatever. Yeah, no, I'm just simple. I play the games, I talk about them more than I probably should, and then I throw them online. This was a fun event. Again, I look forward to doing another Artisan event, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a great day, night, whatever time zone you're in, because, you know, you can be watching this any hour of day. All that jazz. Take care of yourself. And, maybe I'll see you in another one. Bye for now.